Welcome to Uplift Fitness, where we make fitness simple so you can live the fit and healthy life you deserve. Today, we're gonna learn how to do the leg press. One of the best, probably machine movements you can do for your lower body. It kind of hits pretty much everything. You should feel this in your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes. You can change it up a couple different ways to make sure you're doing it right. But what we're gonna do, Maddie's gonna go ahead and have a seat right here. The first thing and the most important thing when you're setting up this machine is where you're going to select where you're going to put the sled. Now this is where this one versus the larger black one we have here is a little bit more difficult because you have to start at the bottom, so you have to kind of cram yourself in there. So she's going to get that as close as possible. And if you feel like when you're doing it, you could go a little bit deeper, go ahead and adjust this a little bit closer because like I said, range of motion is number one. Range of motion is key. So she has that one adjusted. There's a ton of weight on there, so we're going to adjust that way down, especially for the sake of the video. That we're not doing wearing ourselves out too awful much. But she has her weight selected here. Now the first part, she's going to go ahead and put her legs up on the platform. Now what she's going to do is she's going to put them in a position where through this whole movement, she can keep the entire foot here on the actual platform. So if she gets to the bottom and her heels are kind of coming off, then one, that's an ankle mobility thing. Probably need to do some calf raises, stretch your ankle out a little bit. You may need to move your leg up a little bit higher. Now, just a quick little tip, if you move your legs out or in or up or down, you're still probably going to be okay as long as your leg is in a straight line. So if the knee's caving in like this, that's a bad thing. Don't want to do that. Same thing if you go way far out. So if they're way far out like that, probably not super great either. So you want to keep them in pretty straight line, whether that's wider or shorter. Now your foot position will change the movement a little bit, a decent amount. Put them pretty much neutral, in the middle, shoulder width, hip width apart, and you're going to be set up just fine. The last thing, she has really good posture, and she has her hands on the handles here. So she's going to have to pull herself down. We'll show you in a minute what happens when you let your legs off and your hips kind of curl up off the pad. That's a bad thing. So she's ready, she's set up perfect. We're going to go ahead and pressing through the whole foot. So we're not using just the toes, we're not using just the heels, we're using the entire foot. If you pay attention to where your foot is, or where the pressure is on your foot, you're gonna be able to tell how you're doing that movement. So you kind of use your brain power a little bit there, pay attention. If you have it spread across the entire foot, all the pressure, you're gonna be doing a really great exercise. And again, she's going to full extension, coming down as far as she can, nice and controlled. We're not letting that thing slide down too fast. Now, what would happen, let's say, if you just kind of let your hips come off? See, she's super flexible, she can do this, but a lot of times what will happen is the hips, as this sled comes down, they can't stretch anymore. So it's gonna roll the hips up and you're gonna have really bad posture. It's gonna put a lot of pressure on the spine. And then when you do your press, do a couple just with like really bad posture. You're gonna come here. This is gonna be hitting right here on the back. You're not gonna wanna let that happen. So very simply, keep your chest up super tall. Use the handles here, full range of motion as deep as you can possibly go, and then have that weight spread across the entire foot. You're gonna have a perfect leg press at that point if you have good control, that is. And if you wanna know where this fits into your workout, you can download free training programs from upliftfitnessohio.com, or you can click the button below this video where you can download training programs made by personal trainers just like me, same things that we use for the most part with our clients, so you can have confident, effective workouts.